The creative power within us takes what we put our attention on, and that's what's created in our lives. Hi, this is Christy Corradi with CHRISTI'S Clarity. And today we are talking about the main emphasis, which is chapter 11 in my book, Beyond the Box. And the word that I love to bring out when I talk about this idea that our thoughts create our experience, what we give attention to, is really, the word I love is volition. What does volition mean? It means choice. Now, guess what? The universe, the divine, whatever, does not have volition over our lives. Doesn't have choice over our lives. It is almost like this yes machine, right? That just says yes to you and yes to that. Yes. And so whatever you are thinking, whatever you are paying attention to, that's what is more of is created. And so in this book, main emphasis, it's basically what we pay attention to. Now, a lot of people say, oh, but there's a lot of bad things that happen in life, right? You know, there's crime, there's disappointment, there's loss. And guess what? We get to choose what we do with that. So I talk in my book here about the death of my parents, right? It was very sad. I mean, I lost my parents. And I went through grief and I felt deep sadness, yet it was one of the richest times in my life. And people will go, well, but you lost your parents. Yes, but I chose to feel deeply, feel the love of my parents, feel the lifetime we had together, to feel the feelings of life and to feel the feelings of death, and to deepen my own individual awareness as I went through this process, right? One of the things that I know is that, you know, life is eternal at whatever form it's in. And so I could console myself with that and think, you know, there was always some connection with my divine, with my parents, even if it's just the things that I learned from them. I remember one time, and the things that I chose not to accept from them. I remember one time my dad said that I should just follow the recommendation of my doctor, right? And I thought, no, I have to really trust my intuition. And that was something else he had taught me. But in his growing up, and, you know, doctors becoming, basically doctors saved his life. He died at birth. And basically that's what, so he had a deep belief in doctors, right? And so we get to have volition, and volition includes how we choose to respond. And so Wallace Wattles, who wrote The Science of Getting Rich back in the 1920s, he says, the creative power within us makes us into the image to that which we give attention. And so the question is, are you noticing what you're thinking? Are you noticing the thoughts that are creating the experience that you're having? For example, I could have been sad. It's my dog. I could have been sad and gone to bed for weeks but instead I chose to celebrate the life and their passing. Now, there was another death in my life that was very traumatic, happened years before my parents passed. And I did lose it. I did go into the deep depths of despair. And actually, you know, if my husband wouldn't have caught me in the non-literal sense, it could have been really bad. But I was really devastated by this event. And so in moments of being unskilled, we can choose, have people around us to support us, and we can choose to make a different thought, a different understanding of how we want to show up in the world, what we want to create in our lives. So I'm going to ask you a question here. What would you love if you have choice and what you put into your thinker, you create? What would you choose? Well, the thing I hear mostly from people is abundance, right? Now, I want to tell you, it's not the abundance they want, it's what it brings them, which is freedom and creativity. So let's go to that. What would you love? Freedom and creativity, to bring your gifts into the world, to travel and experience other cultures, to spend time with a loved one that you didn't have to be engaging in creating income. Okay, so let's take that. Now, you've thought that thought. I bet your thought is, well, I've thought that before. Well, we're going to go back to the idea that we are human beings walking on this earth. We are spiritual beings walking on this human earth in human bodies, following human laws. You know, there is the law of gravity that keeps us grounded here on the ground. You know, there are other scientific laws. There are the ones that, and then there are the spiritual laws, the spiritual principles. So I have talked about the law, or it's in the book, the law of gestation, which is that when you plant a seed, you don't dig it up to see it grow. You water it, you nurture it, and you be patient, right? So when you instill this thought, I am free and creative to bring my gifts in the world of being an intuitive wisdom artist, where I help people through my intuitive drawings, that I am a world traveler and I take people traveling to have a greater sense of themselves through the reflection of other cultures, and all on and on. Okay. And then guess what? I'm in this physical form, and there's a reason for the law of gestation, but I'm in this physical form, so I have to nurture it, I have to feed it, and I have to repeat it. I have to leave it in the soil to start growing. Now, you've heard it takes 21 days to change a habit. Well, I have a program on my website called 21 Days to Change a Habit. 21 tools to change a habit. And that's the thing, is that if it was a real simple habit, we could change it in 21 days if we were really consistent and kept our mind focused on that. But I tell people all the time, 90 days or more. And to keep it going, guess what? You've got to continue to stay in the work. You got to continue to remember that thing that you wanted to create. So every day I say, I am the woman who takes 3 travel trips a year. I serve people through my program, Manifesting Miracles, which I offer 3 times a year. And I also do my intuitive wisdom drawing, serving people through that. So that's my vocation arena, right? And then on my time, money, freedom area, I add things like, and when we travel, we always take 3 or 4 days before or after with my husband and maybe my son and his wife or whatever, to stay and enjoy ourselves and relax. And I usually choose someplace sunny, right? So my point here is that we have choice. The universe just says yes to our thoughts. So what are you thinking? Even better yet, what are you choosing to think? This is Christy Corradi with Christy's Clarity. Craft your life as a masterpiece. Thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if today's Christy's Clarity resonated with you. If you like this video, I've chosen another of my videos that I think you'll like next.